Hello and welcome. This is Arunava Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is Friday, the 24th of January, and we had another Indian Super League match to watch in which East Bengal Football Club won 2-1 against the Kerala Blasters. And yeah, it makes the ISL playoff race even more interesting because the Blasters, who could have pulled on the same number of points as Odisha FC and Mumbai City Football Club, yeah, are now still behind the Highlanders and the Islanders. The Tuskers now remain on 21 points, but from 18 matches, so 6 more games to go. Mumbai City have played 16. Odisha have played 17, while on the other side, East Bengal FC have now 17 from 17. So there are 7 points off the mark with 7 matches to play. But again, after 3 losses, a win for the red and gold, and I think they should be happy about that as well. And hi, Yashraj. Hi, Akash. Welcome, guys, or welcome back, everyone. And as always, at the start of a live, yeah, I have to remind you, if you like what you see, if you want to support me and want to support the channel, do leave a like behind. Do share it with other people to potentially join us in the conversation, and as well subscribe to the channel. We are now at 2,192 subscriptions. So we're closing in on the 2,200 mark. So thanks a lot, as always, on that as well. Well, the story of the match, quickly told. The Blasters looked better initially, but couldn't score. And then we had that situation of that counter attack clearance from Clayton Silva. PV Vishnu does very well to take the ball along and then scores, beats Sachin Suresh. I think who, I don't know, but what you guys thought, but I think he took too long. And yeah, and it is something that happens with an Indian goalkeeper. And on the other side, Kuru could have just stopped and cleared the ball. I don't know. He's ball watching, and the ball goes past him. Um, yeah, I felt that was a little too easy. And second goal, Hijaji Maher in the second half, where you thought, this is done today, 2-0, and it looked very, very good for East Bengal. Then a late goal from Danish Farouk, and towards the end, opportunities for the Blasters here or there. And yeah, that is something that is to talk about. Kashi got cooked today, yeah. Incredible result. 6-2 for Gokulam Kerala against Inter Kashi in the I League today. And that, once again, shows you Sporting Club Bangalore earlier beat Srinidhi Deccan. The so-called unpredictability of this league remains as crazy as always. So therefore, for me, as I said, I think predicting something regarding the I League is, I think, the most difficult thing to say at all. And as Blue says, yeah, 2-6, 6-2 for Gokulam Kerala. Does it start maybe a comeback from Gokulam Kerala in the league? I'm not sure if it does, but they now looking at the table is crazy. Yeah? Churchill Brothers on 19, Namdhari and Interkashi on 17. Uh, uh, you know, and Gokulam on 16. Shillong Lajong Real Kashmir on 13, Rajasthan United on 12, Dempo SC and Srinagar Deccan on 11, Aizawl FC, Delhi FC on 9, and Sporting Club Bangalore on 8 after 3 losses. Their first win in I think 7 matches, if I'm right. And suddenly they are catching up with the pack in front of them. Just a crazy league, as it always is. Your thoughts? Was that foul from Shayan? Aman, yeah, 100%. I'm not sure if it's a penalty, and I have to. I didn't see the proper angle, or maybe I was watching on a device where it was showing on a small screen. It was certainly on the edge. I'm not sure if it was inside or outside. But that's foul. But even more in the first half, the push from Latununga against Arden Luna. That's a foul and a red card. Again, we come back to the discussion about Jovanovic. This is the same situation. This time, nothing given. I was saying at least Indian teams don't lose 6-7-0, but today's Syria refugee boys cooked our India boys who made their mind that they're Neymar or something exposed again. XYZ, two things. First of all, Syria refugee boys, give them a little bit more respect. That is not the way you're supposed to call out a national team. You don't want to be called something Indian or something, which is happening in other parts of the world. So I think if you want to be shown respect, do show the respect to the others as well. And honestly, I don't care about the result. Today it's about the exposure that these boys get. This is a younger age group playing against under 20 players. So for us, it's under 17, under 18 boys for India playing against an under 20 team. This team, the Syrians, will be much better prepared. They're going in final preparations for the AFC U20 Asian Cup. Yeah. So therefore, that is something that I'd say. So therefore, I'll take the exposure and don't care about the results from these matches. For these boys to play international football, to get that exposure against players who are stronger, better than you physically, that's the thing. Nothing more, nothing less. Hi, SB 1994. Will East Bengal supporters or management will going to appreciate the referee by doing a press conference because today ref was giving decision fee for East Bengal, or Kerala should start blaming ref? As SB 1994, I think the two big decisions, key decisions, went against the Blasters. So yeah, I think for me, this is something that I bet you will not be will not be discussed. I've not seen anything. So therefore, yeah. Blue Talks 1-6 to Syria. Yes, that is under 20, even though it's in India under 18 against the Syria under 20. Hyderabad is building a team for the future. Yeah, let's see. Our future is also cooked. I mean, these Indian footballers got no quality, getting cut open from here and there. XYZ, that's what I say, right? We have a problem. You know, we have a problem in our youth and our grassroots, right? So therefore, who are the selectors for this U20 team? Should be sacked immediately? No, Akash, not. See, again, this team is preparing for the SAF Under 19 Championship in May. So therefore, 2007, 2008 born. You're playing against 2005 born. That's the reality. Can Churchill Brothers sustain an ISL team in case they get promoted? Babalu's, no, they can't. Either there is an investment coming in, and who in his or which company in their sane mind would do that? Or says they follow Murray should have been red. Yeah, blue. Again, we've got again and again. There's one or two situations where you can discuss. Why Paramveer and Koru not playing U20? Because Aman, they're playing ISL. And I think for their development, you have that around the world, where certain players are not called up for youth national teams, for whatever is better for the development. Is it better for you to play in the ISL, train with your team, or is it better to play in an under 20? This is not an under 20 squad. This is an under 18, under 17 squad. I think, don't forget it. What happened to TVS's football plans? Yeah. Come and gone, like many others. Blue said, like, guys. Thanks, Blue. Yes, as always, like, share, and subscribe, especially now, so that more people potentially can join us in this conversation tonight on Indian football. And, that is always important. And I said, as we keep on growing the community, also watch the short videos that I make on a regular basis. Today I was talking about, what kind of transfers I would like to see happening in the Indian Super League, or what kind of players are the clubs looking for, and yeah, that's something which, as always, thanks everyone. I mean, everyone refers to them as Syria, war-torn country. Syrians as it's called. We are sorry to war. All respect to them, but I'm saying the way to be quality improve is not seen here. XYZ. My point is, you're right on this point, but as I say, if you want respect towards you, respect others as well. That's my only point. It's much better to take a bunch of CFL kids and make a U20 team. Exactly not, Akash. Then you have not, as I say, AIFF does a lot of things wrong, but if the AIFF is unable to get an under 20 team, it's rather better to give the younger age group this kind of exposure, because this is also a very, very good reality check for these kids, right? So therefore, I don't see this as wrong. Abbas is getting exposed. He's good, but only with good foreigners. Akash, every coach will get exposed. Every coach in an Indian football system at the moment will get exposed, and it depends on this. You know, just think about which kind of players he is banking on to get him through at Interkashi. Let me listen. Let me just look at who was starting for Interkashi today. Right, just 1 second. Let me just go into that fact sheet. Right, who have I got? Orindam in goal. Okay, Orithro, got Sandeep, Narayan, Shumit Vasi. Right. So my whole back line is Desi, right? The attacking line is the foreign one. So that's that sums up your problems and your issue, right? So Habas, this way or that way, in the last 10 years, in the Indian football circuit, the most successful coach, period. Even today, I saw some guys asking Chelsea to take Indian players like Vishnu, Kipken, Paramveer, Kuru, etc., like for what they would do it. Uh, yeah, let them talk. If people, again, it anybody who's talking about something like this and bringing Chelsea Football Club into the conversation in regard to Indian talent, then that person, sorry, doesn't understand football. Then he doesn't understand what our level of football is and what the level of football is at Chelsea Football Club. You know, so that's it. Why is international windows not considered for youth teams or women's? Because youth matches happen whenever you think it is possible for you to organize matches, games, tournaments happen. Again, if you are 17, 18, or even 6, let's say you've got Lamine Yamal, right? Would you play him for the Spanish under 17s, or would you play him even in the first team of Spain, or would you play him for Barcelona, right? So therefore, that is the thing. You have to decide what is the best, you know, and that is something which is for me, again, there's a lot to criticize with the AFF, but in this case, it's the right decision. Give the younger boys exposure, give them that exposure, and not just jumble up an under 20 for the sake of playing an under 20 team because you've invited it to an under 20 competition, because all the three other teams are actually preparing final preparations for the AFC U20 Asian Cup. What is the expectations on India upcoming match in Syria? Murali, we played, we lost 6-1 today. Pramveer Guru, even with them, it would still be 6-1. What do fans think? Guru is not quality. He wouldn't make Afghanistan 20 come on a quality football in India as a reality. Yeah. I said that um, earlier, a few days earlier, because to me, I'm not sure what is Kuru's position. I don't know if you guys know. I don't. He's there, right? He's there, um, and I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of the player, right? He's young. I mean, that's the only thing that I take along. He's young, period, and I don't take anything along. So therefore, for me, I don't know. I don't know. Why don't Indian football left SAF and joined Kafa? Yashraj, it's not so easy for us to just say, hey guys, you know what? Today I want to leave. Um, you know, Indian football. I'm done over it. I leave SAF, and then Indian football says, you know what? I want to join Kafa. Doesn't happen like that. We are an integral part of the SAF region, and we were part of SAF. We are part of SAF, and we are going to be remaining. You know. I expected this from Havas in I League. They are struggling so much. Akash, they are still in the top three. There are 2 points behind Churchill, maybe five after this match day. Where are they struggling so much? Right? This has been their worst result so far. So therefore, again, if anyone thought that Habas will come in and he will cakewalk in the I League, then that person was dreaming, because even a Habas cannot come in into the I League, and the I League is the craziest league that we have in India. It is the most unpredictable league in India. Look at where Gokulam has been in this league. Look at Srineri Deccan has been in this league this season. Look at where Namdari is at the moment, and from a positive example, right? So therefore, if I take all of this together, um, it's all good. Inter Kashi, if they want to get promoted, for them it counts to be top of the table on match day number 22. That is when Kashi needs to be. At least in my head, I would say to them, that is where you need to be. Period. We lost 6-1. It was export is was or is a exposure tour. Yes, 6 was it. I watched the game. Kashi had almost non-existing defense, and that's the problem, right? If you don't have the right players, and if you're playing with Indians, you're gonna have problems. Today, only 15,000 for the match. Attendance is reducing slowly. EB matches. Aman, East Bengal's, you know, um, East Bengal has lost, and I think that uh, so therefore, yeah, 15,000 or nearly 15,000, as was said, coming is a positive in my opinion. But the point is, I think generally, so I've been talking with friends, and I think I will have that conversation week after next in Kolkata as well with friends. Is the question is rather different? Is it a general trend that we see with East Bengal, that East Bengal is actually losing fans quite a bit? That a lot of younger folks who are born and brought up in Kolkata but have roots, Bangal roots, so to say, are more inclined towards Mohun Bagan because they're more successful? I think these are the questions that we are in. They will make Rasgulla for Chelsea management, says Akash. Yeah, if the health conscious Chelsea management will have them. I'm feeling upcoming match for India and we are going to get thrashed. I hope not. Morali, we lost 6-1 again. So that's what I'm saying. That's what you're asking again. We lost today 6-1. We lost 6-1 to Syria today. Chelsea, they will take them, definitely will make them ball boys. They will also pay them half of what they earn. I suggest to throw the ball in. By this, they will see quality football. Ooh, hard one, XYZ. Obviously, youth matches, except FIFA friendly Asian Cup and World Cup, are exposure. Only this kind of tournament, it's preparation. See, guys, for youth teams, FIFA windows, FIFA friendlies don't exist. The FIFA friendlies exist only for senior A national teams, men's and women's. So under 23 downwards, everything can be discussed between federations. Country A can invite country B, C, D, as in this case, Indonesia has done, and do a tournament, a four-nation tournament. Or Norm, very often what you have is also that, for example, when we were preparing the India under-17s for the World Cup, the India would go and play a 2 or 3 match friendly series with a nation. So that is something which is very, very normal. So from that, the real tournament for these boys are SAF, and then AFC Youth Asian Cup qualifiers. Those are your two fixed ones. And if you qualify then for the under 17 or under 20 men's and women's, that is something, that is something to remember. How many goals? Sunil got 10 now. Who's the second best Indian? Sunil's got, doesn't Sunil have 11? I thought Sunil had 11. 1 second. Let me just check the stats on the official. Sunil has 11. Sunil Chetri has 11 goals. Aladdin Ajarai has 15. Jesus Jimenez 10. And then Armando Sadico, Diego Mauricio, and Nicolaus Careles have 9. Wilma Jordan on 8. Noah Sadui on 7. Luca Machin 6. And then Bryson Fernandez is the second best Indian with 6 goals. So those are, and he's the only other Indian in the top 20. All other players are foreigners. So just 2 players out of 20 are Indians in the top 20s. Sunil, out and out striker, Bryson Fernandez, an attacking winger. And yeah. Is Syria's better football system than India, or hunger intent made them different? Syria doesn't have a football system. What system are you talking about? Murali, I've said this multiple times and I repeat myself. It is not about the system. In other countries, a lot of countries don't have a system. They just make it somehow. And Syria is a country where they're happy if the leagues has been running over the last few years. Right? This is not about a system. We need a system because we lack, as I say and I repeat myself again and again, grassroots, youth football, coaching, competitions and scouting. If we don't rectify those things, we will never ever improve. Except if some exceptional kid makes it and puts India on the football map. But that would be on that kid. I don't know why I don't know if you guys have seen. I've never seen, a lot of people are, this talent, that talent didn't get a chance and all that stuff. I said, okay. But if a kid, you know, you know, my concern um is where are those exceptional kids? Because if someone is so exceptional, the system would not stop that kid. The system would allow that kid to go through. Gokulam Kera came back from 2-1 to beat Interkashi 6-2. Some spectacular goals too. Yeah, Football India. I've not watched the highlights. I always try and watch the I-League highlights later in the evening, whenever they go online or the next morning. So surely those 8 goals will be something that I'll look into. And again, Gokulam Kerala are back in the I-League title race. Good evening, Kiran. Rare. Sorry by joining back after 2 days. Missed great action between Bangalore FC and Odisha FC and Jamshedpur FC and Hyderabad FC match 2. Yeah, that's the ISL for you. 2-3-2 wins in the last couple of days. Today, I want to talk about, as a concerned consultant for Indian football, Sunil Chitra at second spot with 10 is an alarming situation for us BFC fans. We feel proud, but in broader term, it's not. 11. Again, I checked, and I was sure myself, but I checked again. Sunil has 11 goals from 17 matches, so don't deny Sunil 1 goal. Yeah, it's. What are we talking about? Right? I've been talking about this for a while. We've got a standard issue, and it's not getting better. And this is just another summary of that. No, that Sunil is the exception. Uh, so therefore, for me, yeah, that's what I'm saying again and again. Sunil needs to come back and play for India. Period. And that's the job on Manolo to convince Sunil to say, you know what, I will come out of retirement and I'll help Indian football. In grassroots level, why AIFF done not properly action on age fraud and match fixing? Yash, because that is not their job. That job is with the state associations, with the district associations, with the city associations. That is on them. That is, that is a problem. And AIFF can create the framework, but the implementation has to be done at a local level. And that is where we are faltering across India. One thing I understand, football across the world, when they perform poorly, they revamp entire system, but we neglected badly. Yeah, because we don't have accountability. Murali, the word that sums up your statement is accountability. Who in Indian football at what level is accountable? And I'm just not talking AIFF. I talk AIFF, I talk state association, I talk the clubs in the ISL, in the I-League. I talk about coaches. Of course, coaches, yes, they are, you know, so this is a reality. Guru was so much hyped, but we saw him today. Blue, I've said this. I'm still to figure out why Mikkel Store and now the interim coaching combo at Blasters, think so highly of the boy. He's there and he's played 1 or 2 good passes. But today we saw that that Vishnu goal never goes in. You just stop the ball and whatever. The ball is going, it goes this way past you, right? And your ball, no, you stop the ball and then do whatever it and whack it away. And that is where you realize is it can happen, it shouldn't happen, but that is about game intelligence. And that is where game intelligence is something where we are suffering massively in Indian football. Because that comes, how does game intelligence? That should be your basic, that should be your football DNA. But that comes from matches, that comes from exposure, that comes from knowledge. That is where we are suffering. If India doesn't qualify for Asian Cup, wouldn't this determine that we have fallen back 6, 7 years now? India nowhere in Asian tournaments. This is death, nothing else. We are seeing football die. Six was it for us? We shouldn't be even talking about qualifying for the Asian Cup. It should be the norm for a country like India to be qualifying for the Asian Cup. Period. It should not be even that we should be scared. It should be the norm for an Indian national football team to qualify on a regular basis for the AFC Asian Cup, period. And it should also be the norm for our under 20s and under 17s to qualify. Under 20s haven't now qualified for 20 years. If they qualify next year, they would qualify for the first time in 20 years, right? The under 17s, we were qualifying regularly. So that's it. Any issues with Srini Deccan? Have 4 foreigners from last season, kept Indian core, added to quality foreigners, still lost to bottom place, Bengaluru. Football India, that's football. Srini Deccan still to me, I thought, I'll be honest, Inter Kashi, Gokulam Kerala, Srini the Deccan, with an outside chance to Churchill Brothers, those would be my top 4. And look where Srini the Deccan is. They're nowhere near the top 4. Where are strikers? How will score in national team games? Where is the replacement? Is there, if there is no Sunni, will be crushed no by new good-looking South nations too? I hope not. You know, I hope not. But here and rare, I fear. Yeah, you're spot on. That fear you have, I have. I think we all have here. That's a concern that we all have, because at the moment we are not playing um, the way we need to. Right? We need to play better. We need to play stronger. And to me, that is the biggest concern. Right? That's the biggest concern. So that's something. Bet 4 goals. Bryson got up your luck. He plays in midfield. Never really progresses that forward. He has been out there. XYZ. Give him a little credit. I thought Bryson has improved a lot. If you look at him last season, and I think some of those goals are really, really class. So I wouldn't say that they are pure luck. I would not say they're pure luck. And they're smart. Look at the header against East Bengal. That is using your football brain. So therefore, give him a little more credit. Table turning completely from Hyderabad FC to East Bengal. Everyone makes leagues interesting, which means ISO quality going down day by day because there's no consistency, no consistent Indian player. Yeah, I've been saying that, right? And we've seen that year on year. And this is a problem. East Bengal today, um, uh, were not even in the best of situations with injuries and other things. So therefore, I give East Bengal credit. I think the Blasters is the one, and this is again a reality that the Blasters, after winning a few games, people thought, okay, they've cut the corner. I don't think they've cut the corner. So yeah. But the majority of state FA run by politicians, unfortunately, they affect the football ecosystem. But in Saudi, they were up another level. Murali, again, don't make those comparisons. And again, India has its forget football. We have it in every sport. Even cricket has its problems, no? So from that perspective, if you ask me, we have an issue. Um, we have an issue, or we have issues, and these are the ones we need to take care of, and we're not. India United 2000. Yes, sorry, yeah, we hosted it in Kolkata and Bangalore. We've not been. Let me phrase it differently. Football India, we have not played in the AFC Under 20 Asian Cup for now next year 2 decades. Blue says, nah, XYZ, his goals are good, not luck. I agree, Blue. I totally agree with you. I don't think that they're luck. And Bryson has gotten into spaces and showed some scoring ability which others either haven't shown or don't have. Is consistency what most of Indian players struggle with? Renal, They struggle with everything, right? And again, some of them, um, if the standard wasn't what it is, if the standard was higher, I think a lot of these guys would not be even playing football or getting close to a football field if we really had proper standards. That is our problem. We've got players playing these days ISL and I League who should not be playing football. If you look at the I League videos, and people, talking about Rinzwala and all that stuff, and goals and this and that and everything. Look at the mistakes by the defenders in the I League. I mean, to score 4 or 5 goals should be normal. And you're seeing that on a regular basis that someone or the other is scoring 4 or 5 goals, even 6 goals. Even Interkashi concedes 6 goals if the defense is a mess. So that's the reality. Indian football team need to select Northeast player, strong football and future of football India. Tripurasa, it doesn't matter where the player comes from, in my opinion. If he's good or if she's good, they should be chosen, period. This regionalism makes no sense. On our leave, match intelligence, we are lacking massively in basics in football. Match intelligence, XYZ, is for me a football basic. You know, for me, that is something. Uh, uh, um, Match intelligence is a friend of mine will tell, she works on that a lot with footballers. She will tell you match intelligence is a basic skill that you should have in football. And we don't have that. So therefore, we need to work on those things. To be honest, Bryson is doing what I expect Kian to do. Hope he does in next matches. Yeah. Not only that, I think Kian is more talented than Bryson. That is what I feel. That is my problem with these boys, right? That they have the potential to be better, but they're not showing it. That is my concern when I see a Kian or other players, right? Last season, remember people um 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 we're talking about Gurkirat potentially going for the national team, right? When he scored the goal for Mumbai City, this and that. Where is Gurkirat at the moment at Chennai FC, right? So that's the reality. Consistency is one word, but also working for your space, creating space for yourself. That is what our players need to work on. The way Indian teams play, I don't think they have put qualification Asian Cup as a norm, be it AIFF scheduling youth matches, neither the quality of Indian players helping. XYZ, um, it is, it should be the norm. If you or I or anybody else and in the AFF, that should be the norm, right? I mean, think about it. If we look at Vision 2047, um, they were talking about that India should qualify for a Youth World Cup on merit by 2026. Still could happen at under 17 level, but if I look at our players at the moment, it will not happen, right? So that is the problem. We need to have those aims, but we need to do the legwork, the grassroots root work to be able to do that. Do allowing OSA solves entire ecosystem problems in the system? No. It solves it could. I always say it could, right? It could solve it for the national team. It could solve it in regard to basic success for us. But everything else, no, it doesn't. I visited a football academy in Japan. No hype, no cool things. They just working hard on basics. Here on Rare, I've had Indian kids who've come abroad and they tell me, oh, you know what, this, that, everything. Uh, and it's like, when some of these academies in Spain or in Germany, the infrastructure will not be the best. Let's say a BFC most probably has better infrastructure than a lot other academies. But then I ask these kids when they come and train in this part of the world, what is your importance? Is it the infrastructure, or is it rather the level of coaching, the level of competition, the level of matches that you could play? And this is our problem. That's why I say a bad pitch might be good for you to learn how to cope in difficult situations, right? But if the coaching is not good, if the coaching is useless, if they don't have your competitive matches, then the best ground in the world will not help you. Think about it. Aspire most probably has the best, the Qataris have the best sporting infrastructure most probably in the world, in one concentrated in one single place. Is Qatar able to beat teams in football around the world? Yes, they can be Asian Cup champions twice, but can they beat the big ones in the World Cup? No, they can't. What major difference you find U17 how they got? Murali, we're not good enough. Simple. Sitishwar says Gokulam won. Let's go. Yes, Gokulam Kerala big winners tonight. 6-2 versus Interkashi. Do you think Indian youth teams qualifying for Youth Asian Cups will show quality at senior levels? No, it doesn't. Because if you look at it, we have been qualifying regularly for under 17, right? But we don't qualify for under 20. So that progression that you want and you need, that's not happening. That's not there, right? That is a problem. If we would qualify regularly for under 17, under 20, under 23, and we won't even be discussing, you know what, oh, we won't make it, you know? But as long as we don't qualify also at under 20 level and those boys and players get exposed to under 20 level, that's not happening. And that's, I think, a big challenge for Indian football to get that exposure experience in, you know, because that's a reality, right? Challenge. So we talk about Sunil Chetri, but I feel now we have to give you fair chances to new group as well. Age or whatever by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, the performance get affected day by day. Yeah, but who you want to play? Because from what I know, I've not seen a coach in the last 6, 7, 8 years who has faith in Vishal Keth. Be it Steven, be it Igor, be it Manolo. None of them actually have tried him in a friendly game. And that should be very clear. And if I look at the others, I think the only one that I can think about is then most probably Gurmeet Singh. I can predict now if Singapore and Hong Kong fail to qualify for Asian Cup and if India tops, their coaches are getting sacked. They are training hard. Yeah. Comparing Rinzwala with Sunil for scoring goal, it doesn't make sense. When Sunil did, it was first year, now it's second year. Blue, people don't understand. We've hyped Vidya Sagar, we've hyped other players who played in the I League as strikers. The standard's not there. You know, so that's something that's something where we are. How many U13 and U16 teams do you need in a youth league to have enough gameplay to keep the kids growing and competing? I don't need big youth leagues, Rohit. I can have even a 5 or 6 team competition and let the teams play each other X number of times. I need to just ensure that the kids are getting that X number of matches. Ideally 40 in Indian conditions. I guess getting 25 is good. But ideally, these kids would get 40 matches. So therefore, you need to have your local competitions need to be strong. At the national level, you again with costs given, not happening. Or now, do you have an explanation how part-time footballers owning full-time professional footballers? What Afghanistan did still shocks me till today. You're a full-time baller. How? XYZ, an Indian footballer being a professional, full-time professional, doesn't mean that he will be better than players who have better football basics, right? And also the mentality. If I look at a Harun Amiri who's played many years in India, right? Be it in I League or be it in ISL, that guy's a monster. Shahid, who played at Gokulam, won the I League as well with Gokulam, played at Churchill as well, born and brought up in Russia, right? People used to play at Anzi Mahachkala, right? So these guys might not be full-time footballers, might not even be with a club, but they know their football. And when they put on their national team shirt, that's what Armando Sadiku said the other day, right? The mentality, where he questioned the mentality, you know? So that is the problem. The mentality for our players, it's that needs to change. And that is something where we talk football basics are lacking. Um, Football intelligence lacking, exposure lacking. So where are we stuck? Where are we stuck? We our players are nowhere near where they need to be. Right? Having zero hope from upcoming national team games. Just want to see guys getting in good shape first. Good shape is not the thing. My thing here on Rare is I just want them to fight. If they fight, if they give their heart and soul and still lose, I'm fine. But if they don't fight, if they just let it happen to them like that Afghanistan loss, that is bad. Right? That feels l- let down. Are you surprised Qatar progression last few years or things didn't go as they expect? Yes, that Asian champ are international in a long way to go. Morally, Qatar has spent a lot, and Qatar has done what very few nations have done, that they've spent on infrastructure, spent on the best coaches in the world. But again, for them to get there where they want to, because also it's not, these Arabians are not easy to coach as well. A lot of them are spoiled, rich kids. For them, football is not the thing that they need to do. They could sit down tomorrow and don't need to do anything for the rest of their lives. So that's it. Qatar are nowhere in U70. We beat them XYZ, but that doesn't mean, right? They're still twice Asian champion at the top. So they get their progression at the right stage. Do you think we have bad habit hyping one match heroes suddenly this? Of course, Murali. We have that. That's one of our biggest drawbacks. All the players we hype. I'm sure that East Bengal fans today will again hype Vishnu after that goal. And the goal is great. But again, you know, can he score such a goal in the next 5 matches? Again and again and again. No, he can't. Honestly, I don't see us qualifying for AFC. Akash, let's see. I, my head would say the same thing, but my heart has still some hope that we might do something. Is India the only nation that has not qualified for youth continent ever for 20, 25 years, but has qualified for senior tournament in that period? Weird. Uh, I'm sure that there are other nations around the world as well, but I wouldn't know any, and none comes to mind. Personally, I don't want Sunil to come out of retirement. If this is going to happen, it will be a tight slap on the face. Why football, since his debut years, we are unable to produce anyone. Now we want him again. No, why? Get rare. It doesn't matter. It's the ego of Indian football or whatever ego there is. Whoever is in charge needs to take a call what is in the best interest of Indian football. And in my opinion, as I said, Sunil coming back is the only thing, you know. So therefore, for me, we need to look at options, and if um, if we need to bring Sunil back, we need to bring Sunil back. And Sunil playing until the age of 39, 40, anyway, is something of a slap to Indian football. Can you bring Pratt on a live? He's got a great brain. Renal, as I said, I've been trying to do some interviews, but my timings don't match. I've been speaking to a lot of people. My timings just don't seem to match with people. And therefore, yeah, I will try and do something. Does it make sense to have U13, U16, U19 teams, 5 teams in each age group to live in one city and compete against each other and develop? See, Rohit, you should have under 13, 15, 17, and 19. That would be, you know, good. And if you have 5 teams in these age groups, let's say you've got 5 teams in the city, which means one round of matches would be 4. Home and away, you've got 8. In the worst case, you play them 3 times a year. You've got then 24 matches, right? So you need to ensure you get your matches right. That is something sometimes is, in the worst case, playing a match is always better than a friendly. That's why sorry, a match is always better than training. Right. That's why I know a lot of people who say, they love to play matches rather than train. I'm also, in the past, I would have rather played a match than train. I hated training. But you know that it's part of it. One thing you admire about Aspire, does Japan have anything? Aspire is a very special thing. I think nobody else has something like Aspire in the world. And what they've built in one place. And I remember the first time I went there was in 2011. It's just incredible. How do you see Orthodox? What? What is Orthodox? Technical players. Orthodox or technical? Morally, technical players are what we want to see. We want to see quality, right? I don't want to see fans crying, angry, or complaining if we don't qualify or finish third. We're not on the Asian level. Honestly, do you think we're Asian level quality? XYZ, if we qualify or if we don't qualify, at the moment, the way we're playing, we are not Asian level quality. We showed that last year in Jan, right? We were the worst team in the tournament. We did reach the final, but we reached it because now 24 teams play, but we're not Asian level at the moment. We are far away. 2024, we have moved backwards and we've been lying to ourselves, but that's the problem. Would that cost more than 10 crores having five teams? Rohit, ISL, no, ISL as a league is not going to do that. That is on the clubs, on the state association, on the district. Why always put it on the AIFF and ISL? It should be in the interest of the clubs. And I don't know what the cost is. I honestly, again, I'm not even talking about the cost. You're running those academies anyway, right? So then to organize matches here or there should be very, very easy to do. Let's say in Bangalore, you have enough. You don't even, I don't even talk about five. You could do a league of 8 in Bangalore and do a four-legged thing. Seven times four, right? Already 28 matches. You sorted. It is not rocket science. The people who are running football clubs, football academies, football training centers should be intelligent enough. And this is what I say. We lack football intelligence, not only on the field, but even more off the field. Find local solutions to a problem. We always look at the national solutions. No, at grassroots and youth football, your solutions need to be local. That is our problem. Why do you bring the ISL into the conversation? The ISL is the top tier league of the country. That is they care about that. Even doing RFJL is something which they've done to just give exposure. They don't want to do that. If you would informally ask them behind closed door, they'll say, listen, I just want to organize ISL and maybe do some India matches on the side. These are the conversations we should be having. Qatar invested heavily on youth coaching setup. They bring the best of the best for the youth. Yeah, that's it. And we have, sorry, with all respect, rubbish coaches. And this is the outcome of rubbish coaches, right? Winning and losing part of the match, but the way losing it matters a lot in fighting spirit. Yeah. Listen, if I lose, like Afghanistan 2-1, terrible. If I had fought, if I'd given everything, if the players had given everything for the shirt, yeah, but you lost 4-1, I would be okay with that. But at least we tried. At the moment, I don't see any application from the players when they're putting on an India shirt. They're just going through the motions. That is what disturbs me, right? That is my concern when I see an Indian football team at the moment. Imagine Sunil playing till 2030 and still we're hyping other young players for no reason. That's what happened since last 10 years. I don't think it's happening for the last 10 years. I think this hyping thing has really been something of the last 5-6 years, really. I remember in first season of, you know, if I go back 2014, right? We lost the openers Mumbai City to Atletico de Kolkata 3-0 in Kolkata. Not the best of days and other things. The second match we won 5-0 against Pune City. And to me, Subhash Singh and Nadong Bhutia most probably both played the match of their life. Yes, of course, there was some conversations, this and some interviews here, some interviews there, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they weren't hype. So that's the point. Hype is, you can hype, but there needs to be some sort of reason to hype. If one, again, my best example this season, Nufal, my favorite example. First match, opener, Mohun Bagan Supergiant, Mumbai City FC, 2-2. Nufal comes on, 20-30 good minutes, and he should be playing national team. And I've never seen him play like that again in the ISL. Right? So that is the problem. Yesterday, my uncle asked me how good is the Indian national football team. I said, we exist, we play. That what matters the most. Yeah, you were honest. People who criticize India and China cannot able to produce proper football, so having billion people. Yeah, but that's a fact, right? That's not criticism. That's a fact. China at least is better than us because they have in the past, produced a Sun Ji Hai, do way. Players who played in the Premier League, or I remember Jiaji Shao who played here at Eintracht Frankfurt at Energie Cottbus or 1860 Munich here in Germany. The Chinese have produced that level of. The Chinese had at least played a World Cup in 2002. A certain Bob Houghton got them that far, but wasn't allowed. But still, Bob got them there. We are nowhere near a World Cup. That is the reality. So, yes, both these countries in 2024, 2025 can be asked the question, why are you not getting there? Just see what happens if Indonesia under Patrick Kluivert qualifies for the FIFA World Cup next year in the United States. Just see what happens in Indonesia. It will be insane, my friends. I think it will be a situation, yeah, that Indonesia has never, the party in Indonesia will be in a way that I think nobody has seen before. So therefore, football has that power. I think it's one of those few sports who have that power. The football world will laugh at India when they hear that Sunil Chhetri is back for national team. They will be saying, how bad can you be to call back a 40-year-old player that scores against South Asian teams? XYZ, others have done it as well. A 40-year-old Lothar Matthäus in 2000 was playing for Germany at the Euros. He came out of retirement. So this happens around the world. This is not anything. Nobody will. And again, do people care that Sunil is 40 and playing? People don't even know who Sunil is anywhere elsewhere in the world. So old players coming back is not a special thing. It happens around the world. A lot of players. Toni Kroos retired, and Germany said, you know what? You and Maxman Duster said, you know what, Tony, we need you. You're playing the Euros at home. We need you, and he came back and played a great tournament. So this is nothing out of the extraordinary. Can we say over the decades we neglected grassroots and foundation concentrate on star footballer, bring Messi and others? Murali, grassroots is a topic which we've looked at, I think, in the last 20, 25 years. Grassroots football, most players started playing at 13, 14 in the past, and they still made it. So that is something is not, and star footballer, again, the star footballer business, yeah. And Messi's come once, 2011. And now trying to bring him in 2025. That doesn't come into the picture. Given the current standard of East Bengal team, Richard Seres seems to be a decent signing. Uchit, yes and no. And I'll tell you why. Because Seles is creating stuff, but he's not scoring. And East Bengal in the last few years, always in the winter, has been bringing strikers who give you promise to score you the one or the other odd goal, but they're not the strikers who's going to score you, 10 goals for the remainder of the season. Good movement, good impact, but if he doesn't score, again, or he enables, let's say, Diamantakos to score, he's not helping. By the way, today also East Bengal Ultras, Tifu was about scripted league with pics of Sanjeev Goenka and Devashish Dutta. They will never learn. Blue, ask them the simple question: Will they now go against the referee and say, "Oh, you know what? We cheated. We cheated today. The referee helped us." Will East Bengal say that? Simple question. Two key decisions went against the Blasters and went for East Bengal. And Lachit Lunga today again deserved a red card, right? So therefore, what are we talking about? So that's my only point. East Bengal fans, sadly, and I'm interested to see. I've not seen anything. I don't know if you guys have seen anything with Blasters fans crying today, but yeah, it's happening. Sandeep visited Mizoram and was amazed by the grassroots program Mizoram. Can you also visit there and do a close-up about it? Yeah, I hope to go back to Mizoram. Haven't been there for a while. Yeah, by Sandeep, who do you mean? When I say ISL, I mean the teams from ISL getting together and pooling money in to do that youth setup in one city to limit costs. ISL teams themselves will not come together. It doesn't make sense. It means clubs within a city. Bangalore FC is not going to be playing Punjab FC and Northeast United FC Goa Blasters or Chennai FC. They need to pool together with a Bangalore United, SC Bangalore, Roots FC and HAL and all the others in Bangalore. They do. Why ISL clubs? FC Goa needs to work together with Dempo, with Churchill, with Sporting, with Salgaonkar, and all the other clubs, Sesa and all those teams, right? So you need to. Period 2015 to 2020 became a license coach. India was so easy with fake license obtaining courses. Yeah, but again, get fake licenses here or there. Our coaches have been a problem for a while, and nobody has been discussing this. That is, I think, a bigger problem, right? 55 minutes just crossed. Thank you once again for joining into the conversation here on Arun Foot on this Friday evening. It's January the 24th, and 11 likes so far. If you like what you're seeing, do leave a like behind. Share it with other people so more persons can join our honest and frank conversations on Indian football. And we are at 2,192 subscribers today. Thank you very, very much. And yeah, keep on growing the channel, hopefully, 2,200, and then we grow on to bigger numbers. And also watch the short videos. I've been seeing that people are not watching the short videos that much. Do support them as well. Try to do things which I feel interesting. Again, India's winter transfer window did something today on what kind of transfers would we like to see, what kind of positions are clubs looking for. Mohammedan Sporting, I discussed something on FC Goa, on BFC, and Mohun Bagan, the brutal Indian football realities. Do watch those things and keep on supporting the channel. And as always, thank you very, very much. If the youth teams are in one city and they can limit costs, it makes sense. Yes, but I'm saying teams from Bangalore, Kolkata has enough academies. Kolkata. Mizoram already has the structure. They're doing that. Manipur has done that. I don't know what the status at the moment is. They were doing it pre violence last year. Sorry, the year before. Sorry, this has been going on for nearly 20 months. Bore has done an interview with Bankar chief. Mohammedan Sporting situation is pretty bad. I haven't seen the interview. Uchut, it is. I mean, the question is can be asked of all. The Mohammedan Sporting management, again, just fits into the whole shebang of club officials in Kolkata. And that's a problem in my opinion in general. But again, that's if we can have a conversation on that. Mohammedan Sporting is next level. I mean, if you think, I've seen that interview with Boria, where Deepak Kumar Singh really talks about that he spent more than 45 crores on the club since 2020, and he's been getting assurances again and again and again. And we've had this situation in the last 2 years, once in a while, that he said, I'm going to pull out. So therefore, for me, the question doesn't arise. The question is for me is he's done it goodwill. They've raised his stake from 50 to 60% and then to 61% by getting promoted. And he's never had the shares. And he spent more than 45 crores on the club. And now Strategy Sports comes in. Now suddenly they're saying 50-50. Very interesting. You know. And they've also supposedly committed 16, 17 crores so far. And therefore, the question is on Mohammedan Sporting's club officials. Why have Mohammedan Sporting private limited shares been transferred first to Bangal and then also via Bangal to Shachi? Very simple. So therefore, for me, it's a very sad situation. It's very sad because we don't even know if Mohammedan will play on Sunday. And it's funny that Mohammedan Sporting officials leveling allegations at the players if they don't play. So that shows you they don't understand how it works. Any instances you felt we not only basics are poor, but a lack of application of mind? Murali, yes, of course, multiple times. Each team put in 1 crore and have one artificial turf field in a city and let that team playing each other. Rohit, it's too simple. It doesn't happen in India. How many clubs have an own training facility? Doesn't work. It's India. It's not just on the clubs. It is the way that you have grounds. How Manchester Academy different from Ajax? Murali, every academy is different. Ajax is different from Manchester City or Man United or Arsenal, Chelsea. That's different from Barca, from Real. Every academy is individualistic. Don't compare China. They have future. We don't. XYZ, but the Chinese have been spending billions on football. It's the one sport that they've not been able to crack. Olympic sports, they have cracked. They are amongst the best in the world, or are the best in the world. They're competing always with the Americans for top spot. But football is the one sport they've not been able to crack. Interesting. And so this shows you that football is not something where you can plan and strategize. It's not chess. It's not you move around and do things and then you're going to move up. Football is the only sport in the world that football is the way it is. And therefore we are seeing um, that we are not getting there where we need to, and the Chinese as well. And the Chinese have spent X times more than we have, right? Despite billion population, our priority is something else. Only when major tournament appears, we say provide them world-class training. Rest of time, left them badly. Morally, at the moment, that is the case. But in the past, it wasn't the case, no? I mean, 2.5 years preparation for the team for the under-17 World Cup. And if we had kept Nico Adam and not fired him on flimsical grounds, I think Nico would have taken them to the knockouts, right? And as I say again, that team does not have or didn't have, in my opinion, someone where I'd say, I'd go off the way with them. These kind of fans made Indian football and coaches poor. That is something we need to learn from English clubs where fans play a more positive role in growth. Kieran, rare in this way you are glorifying fans in England or even in Germany. I think fans around the world think that they have bigger influence and create a positive impact, and very often they don't. Sorry to say that. If fans, and very rarely you'll see that when a fan gets involved in running of a club, that club is successful. Or fan run clubs, there have been attempts in Germany and England. They've all failed. Because at the end of the day, even in Europe, I was talking about that with a friend in Frankfurt yesterday. You can be the best one in the business world, most successful person. But if you run a business in a certain way, and football you can't run like a business. You have to have contingency plans for failure or for success, right? And therefore, that's Borussia Dortmund for me is a very good example at the moment in Germany. They're 10th. They just fired Nuri Sahin as their manager. They've been searching since 2015 for a new Jurgen Klopp. For 9.5 years, they've been searching for a new Jurgen Klopp. Most probably they had it in Thomas Tuchel. They were not happy with Thomas Tuchel. And if you look at the last decade, Thomas Tuchel most probably was the most successful coach with them, right? If you look at Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson, legend. But Sir Alex Ferguson most probably left a broken club behind, right? So these are realities which you need to understand. Does India have strong grassroots? Any nation doesn't have strong grassroots, it's why they play top level. Murali, how do we have strong grassroots? Again, if you're following and you follow our conversations, just to mention India and say that we are strong grassroots, no, we don't. And yes, there are other countries where kids are progressing through the system, but again, for us, we need to build. I think in 10 years, India will be back to 180 ranking. Yes, sad, but the way things are going, it's sad reality. Let's hope not, XYZ, but who knows? How good was Toni Kroos after? Murali is the best player in the last decade, I would say. To me, he's even better than a Ronaldo and a Messi. But again, he's a midfielder. Therefore, you don't rate him. That's the problem. No, the football world just jumps about players who are scoring goals, and Toni Kroos. I mean, I've interacted with him in the past. Yeah. I meant Sandeep Menon visited Mizoram and Reliance Youth Foundation. Jam's grassroots program was really impressed with the setup there, and he said they're focusing on holistic development of the sport there. Yeah, I remember Sandeep went, and I was actually invited on that to make that visit. Couldn't do that at the time, but let's see if during the year I'll be back in Mizoram, and then let's see if I can visit. Do you see Japan winning a World Cup before 2050? Well, in theory, yes, but for Japan to win it, they also need to go to the latter stages of the tournament. Interestingly, if you see, it's always the big favorites in the end who win a World Cup, right? The big nations amongst themselves, Brazil and Argentina. You would have most probably said in the last few years also, Uruguay is back amongst the big boys. But then what you have, you've got Spain, you've got Germany, you've got France, you've got Italy in there. To some extent, some people say England, and that's done. If East Bengal is consistent in the next 2-3 matches, it would be good from the league's competitive angle. Ojut, consistent at any team in this I League, I think, is something which you shouldn't mention in one sentence. People who criticize India general not winning Olympic medal and performing good in football, but they don't criticize people running the show. Murali, if they criticize us on our medal count and they criticize Indian football, why should these people be criticizing the people running it? Because most probably they don't even know how the system runs. You know, financially unstable clubs for top tier leagues anywhere in world always harms league. Yeah, but again, are you going to say that to Mohammed Sporting? Are you going to say that also the way that East Bengal came into this league? Would you say that to Hyderabad FC last year and shut it down? I think, from a league standpoint, I think what FSDL has done over the last few years is try and accommodate all of these teams, and in that way, I think they've done a good job. They've kept them alive, huh? And uh, so to me, that's a very very important aspect, and therefore we need to work on those things. But again, yeah, I feel bad for the Mohammedan sporting players. Shouldn't happen in 2025 to an entity in the top tier. Um, yeah, these are things where again, my question is also about Rachi and then about Bunker Hill. How did you allow this? I mean, Bunker Hill has now been there for 4 years plus, right? Rohit, your ideas look good, but do you even know when terms of ISL do travel, where they do practice sessions, or we still lack some basic things, buddy? Yeah, again, that's the point. It also seems that Chinese and Indians are more adept in individual sports or at the max double events. Field hockey might be an exception. Yeah, yeah, looks like it. Yeah. Can we say the country which performs Olympics well has got good structure? Any nation doesn't have structure. Are they good? Morally, structure is not needed because countries doing well. For example, Jamaica, right? People tell me, oh, Jamaica running this, that, everything. Jamaica doesn't have much infrastructure. Most of these athletes go to the US and then are trained in the US and then they are successful. China kids training for the Olympics is unbelievable. Soon they overtake USA. They have overtaken the USA a few times over the last few Olympics. Hi Manolo, you and me know our youth football level. AIFF also knows that and still are doing nothing to fix it. We're getting these kind of results for years, and what do we have learned? Nothing. Nothing. Right? And they've gotten the help in the past. Now Messi owns everyone and Ronaldo conquered everyone. No, no, it's not. It's a PR thing to me. It's a PR, a social media thing. I think the best players of the last generation, better players than these two. But again, you go by the goals, and therefore you talk about them. Huh? But did you, when Messi was at Barca, were you speaking about Iniesta, Xavi? No, you were speaking about Messi. That's the problem, right? What happened with Nicola U17? What's the episode? Can you shed light? Morally, there were allegations against Nikolai, and therefore he left. And yeah, sadly, that team didn't play with him in the World Cup. Tutu Bose, hailing from an illustrious family and a successful businessman, he handled Mohun Bagan in a certain way, kind of a dichotomy, you may say. Yeah, which is very, very right. Comparison of Indian football with any football is not fair, I feel, because we are just thinking in our own bubble. Whole football world is quite ahead from us and changes happening every day. Yeah, I agree. Very, very much. I agree with this, Given Red. I think we live in let's say Kolkata lives in its own bubble, and the rest of Indian football also lives in its own bubble because we don't want to realize what is happening around us and what we need to do. We need radical changes. And again, I start to go back to something which I did as a series here. Watch it. Uh, it's, I think, 14 or 15 parts already, right? Even in a separate playlist on regard to the future of Indian football where I speak about the things we need to do. It is not rocket science, but as long as we don't do those things will not change. We will get worse because we tried to fix a system which wasn't broken. It wasn't perfect. But I think today people will realize that the work that Kushal Das, Sunanda Dhar, and the rest of the people in the AIFF were doing, um, yeah, was actually good compared to what has been happening now in the last 2 years plus. Basically, it was U20 versus U22. We show no, our players are 20, not 18. Manolo, are they 20 or might they be even 21, 22? Just being, Can we say Japan last World Cup and Croatia was best other matches, Belgium or football? Yeah, but what did it bring it in? It did. What are we? One or two good matches is great, but winning in the end counts, right? Does China is better player? Of course, Mona, as I said, they've had players. Sunji Hai, Du Wei were playing. Sunji Hai was playing at Man City. Du Wei at Everton. So they're playing Premier League. Jiaji Shao was playing here in Germany. So they've had players in the top leagues. What about AFF new constitution, election, etc., and negotiation with FSTL? Uchut, nothing on the constitution because the Supreme Court still is pushing date backwards. So from that perspective, we just have to wait what happens. And FSTL, no conversations. And if you ask me, my feeling is that FSTL might, if things continue to go the way they're going, and also the mess in the ISL, if Reliance even looks for 1 second at the whole thing, they will just say, just shut it down and let's get out of football. That is what my feeling is, right? So therefore, all the talks that people are saying, there are conversations, this and that, that's just trying to create news. For FSDL, it only makes sense looking at the situation to say, listen, I run the ISL and we manage the national team. You take care of the rest yourself. And you know how well the AIFF can take care of the rest. So that's the reality. If it's still going to stay at least till 2040. If you're that positive gear on rare, then congratulations to you. I think a pullout is possible. A complete pullout is possible. Syria could have won by 8-10 goals. Yeah, Manolo. Again, this comparison makes no sense. But it's for me, the result doesn't count. The result doesn't matter. For me, for these boys, these three matches are about exposure against older, so-called older boys, and against superior opposition. Very simple. Take it. Because your competition is going to be in May, the SAF under 19. Is Indian football dead from 2024? Manolo, I don't think Indian football is dead. There's still too much happening. So it's not dead. Vision 2040, Vision 2047, Murali, biggest scam, say football expert. I remember football discussion exposed things running behind the scenes. Yeah, but again, who is exposing whom? Again, you can expose each other in those kind of conversations. Yeah. If we still at least providing better broadcasting things and good social media engagement, basic info for top tier league according to our playing standards. Yeah, 100%. That's what I say. The biggest achievements over the last 10 years, in my opinion, if you ask me, is that FSDL has provided a level of creating a field to play on, which is much higher than we had in the I League and NFL ever. And those people who are saying anything against it don't know what they're talking about. That is a bit, people talk about Indian football, this, that, everything. It's like these people don't understand what they speak. We have come quite a way to where we are today, but we're not where we need to be. Right? That's the challenge. Federico Chiesa, best Italian player according to ESPN FC. You agree? I wouldn't say so, but if ESPN FC saying it, I don't think so. Did you see today's team from East Bengal, man? They have no shame about real gaming, yes. But again, and especially on a day that East Bengal was actually favored by the ref. So that's my question to the East Bengal fans. Will you today at least be honest enough to say, you know what, the referee saved us most probably from what would have most probably been a draw, maybe even a loss. Two key decisions went in their favor. But again, this is then amnesia where these fans then will not speak about those things. It's on ventilation 6, says XYZ. No, it's. I go back to the example that Zeb Blatter used to use very fondly, where Mr. Blatter spoke about the sleeping giant in 2007. I mean, I was in the room. I remember when he said it, and he was saying, "Sleeping giant in India slowly is trying to get up." No, that sleeping giant has fallen asleep again, and has most probably taken a sleeping pill and is sleeping deeper than ever before. You know, uh, so that's the problem. What was the tifo? Let me search. Blue explained it to us a little earlier. Let me see if I can find that tweet here. By the way, today, East Bengal Ultras tifo supports scripted league with pics of Sanjeev Goenka and Devashish Datta. They will never learn. The fun one is that, okay, Mr. Goenka, yeah, I keep it. But these Bengal fans need to understand that Devashish Datta's influence is non-existent. So that's the fun, right? And yeah, grow up. Any instance you felt they don't know damn what they're talking about, sitting expert panel giving lecture? Murali, I've had this. I mean, when I was sitting on that Chakdev panel for once, I thought, what the hell are they talking about? And you see, if you see that video where I was part of it, and you see my face, and I'm thinking, what the are they talking about? These so-called experts have done this, have done that, have done jack shit. If you are as good as you claim you've done, right? Um, we would be better, right? You're promoting overage talent, so you're part of age fraud schemes. You're promoting talent who will not make it to the top, right? In Asia, at least, right? So it means you don't understand the level of talent that you should be working with. You're scamming your way through leagues. So what are we talking about? These so-called experts understand nothing. And we're happy. Again, I again say Baichung Sunil reached that level, you know? So yeah. Sleeping giant, yeah, it's on ventilator now. No, I'm saying the ventilator means that you're trying to survive, but here you've taken a sleeping pill and you're sleeping yourself. This is ventilation is that you're getting some support from outside to survive, right? Here you don't need the support, which you actually need. You've taken a sleeping pill and gone to sleep and deep sleep. Do you think India Cloud 9 done in surf or domination surf over there's no more? Okay. Murali, we are on cloud 9. We are on cloud, I don't know, 155 or whatever, 290, whatever the cloud is. But SAF, the others have to prove it. Sri Lanka has to prove its level. Bangladesh needs to show how good they would be with Hamza. And Pakistan also. Pakistan has still not been able to get their act together because their local system is so messed up with the normalization committee. Let's see. I'm waiting for Hamza game against India. Igle's influence can change the dynamic. Little bit of SAF. Yeah. Yeah, so many panels left midway. I saw that video was what was going on. Yeah. XYZ. The less we speak, the better. We have taken a sleeping pill, says XYZ. Not sleeping giant, it's sleeping elephant who is getting lazy day by day. Yeah. But be it a human being, be it an elephant, be it some other animal, whatever it is, we are nowhere near where we want, should, need to be. And that is, I think, the concerning fact. And I would love to have a different conversation, guys. I would love to talk about the success of Indian football, the growth of Indian football, this, that, everything. None of it's happening. That is my real concern. One question you like to ask India Best Football Academy and their Indian savior person who claim. I don't want to ask a question. Murali, I would say to these people, thank you for trying. Enough is enough. Please, please leave Indian football. That's better for Indian football. That's my only request to these people. And there are a lot of these people. And some of these people know because I've told these people, some of these people in the face. Because you've not delivered anything. You know? That is the thing. It's not Yeah, these people harm Indian football more than they sell themselves as the saviors, and we understand and we do this, we do that. No, no, no. No, you don't. You know, I know myself what I've done over the last 27 years. Small little things. I've not done the big things. I can't do. I'm a small guy, but I know what I've where I've had my influence over the last 27 years. How I've been able to influence with the little things eh, for Indian football to go the right way. Where I've been stopped from helping Indian football move in the right way. Where people have blocked things to for things to move the right way out of self-interest. Most of these stakeholders in Indian football care about themselves. And look at this blame game always with the referees and all. Look it within, but they're not going to do it. And when the referee suddenly favors them, they will not talk about it. You know, Indian football in ICU. I don't know how many insulin we have to take to survive. Let's see. We need some good leadership in AFF in upcoming years. Otherwise, FSL will say thanks to us and we will go back into 90s era for sure. Yeah, that's the reality. Interim coaches of Karabas FC and Hyderabad are doing better than their respective former coaches. What do you think could be the reason? Raj, with Hyderabad, I'm sure that the team has settled down. I think, and I think it wouldn't have made a difference of keeping or firing Thangboy. And with the Blasters, yeah, you saw them today, right? So therefore, today they were as good as the start of the season. They're inconsistent. So therefore, I wouldn't read too much into this. These teams, even you and I could coach them, and would it make a difference? I don't know. So that's the problem. And now I think you need to come to India and form power here. I don't know, challenge AFF, get into government, get people that knows football into AFF. I don't know, because nothing will change. XYZ for the moment, I'm not even getting close to the AFF. I don't want to get involved in that. It makes no sense. As I've announced earlier this week, I'm going to do some work with handball now, with on an international scale, and India is going to be one of the markets that I'll be working on for the German handball Bundesliga, amongst other things, and German handball, take German handball to India. That's one of the things why I'm in India next week. So therefore, let me work on that, where you have support, where you can change things rather than trying to change things in football, and nobody wants that change. These people who criticize Indian football are actually quite happy that Indian football is the way it is, because um, then they have something to do and something to say. If football would professionalize, a lot of these people would be flushed out of the system. That is not happened. That is not happening. That is what we need. But I have done and I will do whatever I can for Indian football, but I will not get involved in a mess like in 2022, where I tried to stop FIFA from banning us, trying to explain to people what would happen, and then get abused for it by some useless people. I had news people who say reality often get threatened and get dangerous surrounding them in instance you felt. No. Murali, I have said and I will say whatever is right. And if anyone tries to threaten me, there are legal means and ways to take these people to, you know. So, yeah. So the funniest thing was with Bunker, what I was talking about MSC officials scamming. It would be better if we invited another official to a talk show how to scam. They're not scamming. What they've done is don't want to give up control. That is the problem is not about scam at Mohammedan Sporting. The problem is the giving up control. What is the problem at East Bengal? Giving up control to the investor. Why is Mohun Bagan successful? Mohun Bagan is successful despite of the club officials. Because you allow Mr. Goenka and his team to run it. They run it perfectly? Of course they don't. But the system is so bad that they can still win it because they're spending the most money. That is the question. These idiots don't even understand that. It is about power and control. It's not about money, right? In the first instance, we are not good at national level, not at youth, not even at grassroots, not even in leagues. So the task is so big, but action is still zero from stakeholders. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I said the other day, right? After the BUC game where Pajinder was questioning the referees and all, and you're wearing a BFC jersey, so I come to that. Is Parth, in other sports, you are supporting people to become Olympic athletes. In football, you've now been working for a decade. Whereas, you know, where is that exceptional talent within your system? You watch 420 grams, they also cover Indian football and they also talk. I'm like, see, XYZ, 420 grams makes it interesting, in my opinion, um, because you have different viewpoints. And especially, and Arjun Pandit to me is spot on. He understands the nitty gritty of Indian sports. Okay. Others, and he has his different viewpoints. And, but at least they're talking, right? Inter Kashi fans are saying Habas and Kauka. Or say, Blue, this is the short sightedness of things. And let's see. Any player you felt he should have stayed in foreign league long, he would have changed. Yeah, Murali, any Indian player going abroad, young or old, will get better, period. Because the competition is better. Look at Sunil. Sunil today is playing at the level because he had those 6 months at Sporting Lisbon. He had the time at Kansas City visit, right? So that's helped. Baichung has become better because of that. Gurpreet has become better of that. So, yeah. Well, after that reply, it seems even Ronaldo will stop caring. No, I will never stop caring. But I will now get involved in battles for Indian football where I see a value of that fight. Right? To me, it makes no sense to waste my time with these people. That's why I said handball gives me an opportunity to do things which I would love to do. Forget India, but on a global scale. So therefore, for me, I'm fine with that. So therefore, you know, I have done as much as I've can, right, and tried, and these are the realities. Any instance you felt our ego is bigger than football development? It is, of course. The ego of these people is always bigger. Monali, that's the biggest problem. If I make myself bigger and more important than Indian football, then that's the problem, right? See, for example, in Kolkata, the IFA thinks it's bigger than AIFF in Indian football. The Kolkata clubs think they're bigger than that. The Blasters nowadays think they're bigger. Even BFC thinks they're bigger than Indian football, right? So, where are we? East Bengal fans suddenly praising Selly's lot, but I feel he's on and off. What's your thought? Shomo, movements are good. He gives them something different. But if he doesn't score or he's not setting up stuff to score, then he's no value. That is what at the end of the day counts. These days, from owners to coaches, people became brainless in ISL in comparison to any other league in last 12. ISL is the one where assistant support stuff gets more red card than players. Yeah, because there is a lack of respect for the referee, right? That's the first thing. The coaches know that. Eco's team had tried to do it at international level, you know? Um, it didn't work, right? Because nobody cared what he said. How to stop Vishnu according to you? Shomo, you don't need to stop him. He will have a good day or a very good day. That goal is really, really good. But that goal is only made possible because Sachin Suresh doesn't come out at the right time and Kuru doesn't. I don't know what Kuru is doing. Kuru is turning this way and lets the ball go in rather than turning towards the ball, stopping the ball and whacking it out. It looks very odd. I don't know what the boy was doing. And again, I said it earlier today. To me, that shows you the lack of football intelligence. With all respect, he's young, yes. But yeah, My aim has to be to stop the ball, even if you score an own goal. But you've tried. Here, you're ball watching. So therefore, let him do his dribbles, let him do his turns. He'll be effective one in 100 times, and that's it. This shows us that we are now also lacking in basic game education respect towards official. Yes, 100%, Kiran. That is the problem. We are getting more and more uneducated in Indian football, while the rest of the world is learning. The last country in the world is learning. Winning and losing is part of the game, but the comeback should be better instead getting worse stability. Yeah, 100%. What's your opinion on Abik and Carol's podcast, Yellow Wave Pod? Roshan, I haven't heard it, so let me hear it and then I can give you an opinion on it. Does the talent pool of Sweden dipped compared to past? Oh, Murali, I don't watch that much of Swedish football. I wouldn't say that. If I look at Alexander Isak and others, they still have talent. দাদা ফাইনালি আমরা জিতেছি আবার 5-6টা ম্যাচ পর জিতবো টাটা Shofik says finally you know East Bengal is won and he thinks that they'll win after 5-6 matches but 5-6 matches the season's over so let's see. Sir, in the last few years of Brazil football went down a bit. What are your thoughts on the same? Bad management. See that the government has tried to remove the president a few times, and the clubs are most probably not focusing as much on development as other nations are in South America, and therefore Brazil, yeah, is not doing as well as they can. And Brazil is about creating individuals. Brazil is not creating a team. That's the big difference between Brazil and Argentina. Argentina plays as a team. That's why they won the World Cup. Brazil is about individual brilliance. Look at Vinicius Junior. He could be the best player in the world. If I was managing a team and I could buy him, I would buy someone else because I don't want that kind of a character in my dressing room. And just, you know, by the way, now Joao Felix said he wants to win the World Cup 2026 for Ronaldo. He said it. High time for Ronaldo to dominate and win trophies. The internet will go crazy if Ronaldo is anyway involved in that. I don't see Portugal winning the World Cup in 2026. So let's see. I felt Kerala was a C, which quite inexperienced subbed of centre back too early. See, Shomo, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Coaches have to take a call, have to take a decision. And in this instance, he thought it is the right decision and it didn't work for him, right? Curious question. Do you think India not suitable for certain sports ecosystem and sent bad signal? Wrestlers protests send shocking message to India. No, any sport can be played by anyone, anywhere in the world. The wrestlers protest is not a bad signal. It shows you theoretically if the action was taken, then you would have said, you know what, the sporting ecosystem is alive. By not taking action, you prove that your system is broken. That there are certain individuals who are too powerful who cling on to power. That is, that doesn't work. Sweden front three right now, one of the best in the world. Yeah, exactly. Dada, how good is Omar Mamush? Bosh, let's have that conversation next year. Because if you look at Eintracht Frankfurt and their attacking players that they've sold, it's incredible. They bought, I read the stat today, 32.4 million, 5 strikers bought and sold for 305. So they made 820% of profit. But none of the strikers, Sebastian Aller, Jovic, Kolo Muani, and no one has actually been as good as they were for Eintracht Frankfurt. So that is a crazy one. Omar Mamouche, incredible development over the last 1.5 years. Average player in Germany, but now it exploded. I wish him all the best. Man City, crazy buys in this window. And hopefully he becomes sort of the next Egyptian legend in football. Maybe hopefully he becomes a new Mo Salah for Egypt. I feel if Brazil not going to work with team management, their FIFA rank on affect very badly. Yeah, Garrett, if it was a smaller qualification pattern, Sorry, less nations qualifying for the World Cup. 32 World Cup, not a 48 World Cup. Brazil might not qualify. Neymar, the prince, back to Santos, never won a Ballon d'Or, career finished. XYZ, again, um, very talented player. Injuries 100% played a role in his career, but also he loves life, he loves women, so maybe unprofessional lifestyle, which is not only a problem for him. Exactly. I also thought that Vishnu's goal could be stopped or Kuru could have done better. He has to do better. So therefore, Kuru, all that hype that I've seen doesn't make sense. What's your view on today's Tifu West Bengal? Shovik, I ask you a question. Do you think, um, as an East Bengal fan, then East Bengal rightfully, correctly won the game today? You know, simple answer. You know, so that Tifo is scandalous to say the least. You know, um, and yeah, two key decisions went against the Blasters today for East Bengal. So just 1 second, I just have to get something done. So that's my problem, right? When we talk about this, that East Bengal have blamed referee for their failures, but today East Bengal should then say thank you to the referee for saving them, right? Lachulunga push on Adanduna is a foul, penalty, red card, and on the other side, that foul of Shahan Banerjee on Sandeep um, is also a free kick. At least I don't know if his foot was inside. I couldn't see that from the replay. I was watching it on a small screen today. So therefore, those two things were not given. So therefore, East Bengal got an advantage. But will they say that? No, because they say, listen, Mr. Goenka's fixing the league, which is a joke in itself. If you believe that, if you really believe that, then you have a problem. Then you have a serious problem. I also think Vishnu's goal could have been stopped or could have, yeah, totally agree. I don't see Omar Mamouche succeeding in Man City. Kusanov is good. Victor Rice, he can win balls, but Mamouche will fail. Pep will tell him, copy Grealish. Let's wait and see. I think Omar Mamouche, from a human point development, has developed very, very well at Eintracht Frankfurt since coming there from Wolfsburg. Um, and Kusanov, yeah, I think can make a difference. Victor Rice will take time, I think, to settle into the Premier League. But Mamouche, I'm interested to see because does Pep change his system? Because if you see the way that Ekitike and Mamouche were playing, does that become a style of play for Mamouche and Holland? So therefore, will be interesting. That Uzbek centre back is risky bet for City, I think. I don't think so, Shumo. He was scouted in the Belarus league before that by Man United a while back, before he signed for Lens. So therefore, he is an exceptional talent. So Premier League viewership also dipped down in India. Historical drop. What do you think reason can be behind it? Given rare, it was never as high as people have been telling us for the last 30 years to start with. Right? So that's the reality. Football numbers have never been the numbers that, that's the thing. Right? Now, when you're brutal, he loves women. Listen, I also love women, but again, I'm not a football player, right? And nobody needs to know about my life. But he's being paid millions to be a professional footballer. So that is the difference, right? If a Neymar would have, and he should have seen at Barca how a Messi and all the Spaniards and all the others were training, right? What's with Brazilian culture? Most of them washed out in the early 30s, drugs, party women, and lack of fitness. Akash, nothing wrong with the Brazilian culture. I'm sure you and I would like it as well. But if you're a professional footballer, especially in today's times, it will be a problem. In the past, they could get away, but football has become so much more physical. It's about your lifestyle, about your diet. All these things have become much more important. That if you don't follow these basic things, you will not be able to be at a level that you think that you could, would, should be. That's the reality. Neymar attitude and injuries in addition made him an average player. Otherwise, he should be a legend of his own era. Yeah. Neymar and women don't go together. TV rights of Premier League in India dropped from 145 million USD in 2013 to 65 into a crazy downfall. It has fallen even further if you just would put in just the TV rights. Neymar was such a talented player, but he wasted his talent. Yeah. Listen, Colasso to AC Milan. Here we go. It's a meme now. I don't believe everyone in this chat love women who live football dream. XYZ, it's up to you what you love, what you don't. I think all of us love Indian football. That's why you guys are here and we're discussing it. But if you or I or anyone else in this conversation loves women, or again, I don't want to, if you love men or whatever, that's up to you. But yeah, if you're a professional sports person, this is are the basics. I always also say that, for example, why did a lot of talented Indian footballers fail over the years? Because easy money in Indian football, lifestyle, women. Look at who the wags of Indian football these days are, wives and girlfriends. Then you see that that is a factor, right? But it's fine as long, you know. Even Zlatan has a high profile wife, or David Beckham had a high profile wife, but they knew when to perform on the field. Period. The reason behind viewership for EPL India is odd kickoff time for big clash. Shomo, it has always been the case, huh? So that can't be the reason. So for me, um, I think the numbers are, yeah. I grew up watching Ronaldinho. He faded away so fast. Akash, Ronaldinho, if we're talking about Neymar, and I know Ronaldinho a little bit through friends of mine, Ronaldinho is on another planet. Forget your Neymars, right? Ronaldinho or the El Fenomeno, the real Ronaldo, those guys, are on a different level. But again, yes, you said it. But Ronaldinho was playing at a time when these factors were not as important. Ronaldinho still made it, through Barca, through Milan, through PSG, and all that stuff, right? But Neymar in today's world, even in the Saudi Pro, think about it. We're not talking about Neymar being at PSG or being at Barca. No, he's not good enough for Al Hilal. And he's one of the highest paid footballers in the world. That's embarrassing. Unsung hero Drogba, forget Ronaldo, Messi. I never seen humble football player like Drogba with such a great talent. Yeah. Don't chase material things, chase your goals. XYZ, the problem is of today's generation, what I feel. Uh, um, that people, again, in Indian context, anyway, we talk about Jugaad, but I think that we need to talk about how can you get to that level of success with through hard work, right? It is there should be no shortcuts. And if we talk about Sunil, we talk about Baichung in an Indian context. Let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, lifestyle, this, that, everything. But Cristiano Ronaldo works hard. I might not like him. I rather like Messi. Different conversation. But I have to give a credit to a Ronaldo, or let's say to a Novak Djokovic, who's not as talented as a Roger Federer or a Rafa Nadal. But that guy works his socks off. Honestly, I haven't watched the full match, but yeah, that was a foul by Shan. Talking about Tifo, this is just an excuse to take away attention of East Bengal from the real problem. Shobik, very well said. That is the real problem. Uh, um, to me, that's the problem. We should be talking. The question should be asked to the East Bengal club management, to the people deciding football decisions. So, what are you doing? Where are we? You know, Um, that's the reality. And these are all distractions, sadly, because East Bengal Club as an entity, as a institution, should be of higher value. That is, to me, my problem. Adriano's father death broke him. He said bye bye to Europe, football, money, and came back. XYZ, I think Adriano also, I would say, I know a few people who know him, that is the official version. I think he also falls into that Neymar Ronaldinho trap with women and all lifestyle and blah blah. And that father thing is, yeah, a very very easy exit. Drogba was like Mahendra Singh Dhoni of Chelsea, always deliver when team needs the most. Yeah, get on rare. Now, did anyone of the U20 impressed you today? Roshan, no, because they're under 18s, under 17s, at least officially. And they had to play against boys who were preparing for a tournament, and I didn't see anything where I'd say, let's keep on watching that play. I don't know if you've seen someone, so let's see. How do you see Ronaldinho technique even fan? Ronaldinho was class. The problem with today's generation is that everyone has a price, sadly, in general, that price is coming significantly down. Z in India, that price is even low. Yeah, that's XYZ. That's very, very true. Can we say Sadio Mane made high despite all odds? 100%. If you look at also, Sadio Mane is a good example, right? Sadio Mane made it from nowhere, but has reinvested into his own village. Uh, and yeah, great. How good are African sports apart from football? Murali, look at athletics, long distance, let's say Kenya, Ethiopia, and other countries. They're there. The way players develop themselves play a major role in their success, and that's what Ronaldo has done with his fitness standards. Yeah, but he's also learned, right? He's learned certain things the hard way under Sir Alex. He's learned certain things under certain coaches at Real Madrid. So therefore, he is what he is because he's also learned from these people. People talk about Haaland never saw Adriano. Well, I think, Haaland, I would actually put him above Adriano if I look at what Haaland can do. And again, I think Haaland is not a finished product still yet. Neymar is the last natural footballer of this gen, at least for me. You know what? I think there are better natural footballers coming up in the next generation, especially from a Germany context. I think Musiala and especially Florian Wirtz, those are really, guys that you would like to see play five-a-side football in a cage. They are. We're talking about German footballers who are better than Brazilians, which in the past we would have never said. Right? Germany's strength has always been the team, not the individual brilliance or talent on football. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Good night, sir. Have a good time ahead and keep the good work up, Team Ornavo Footy. Thanks again on Rare. Yes, let's keep on talking and hope to see you again tomorrow night. You said they're spoiled rich kids. What do you mean by that? See, the problem is when you lose focus, right? Be it an Indian context or let's speak about the Brazilians, right? The problem is that again, some of them, of course, are from poorer backgrounds. So for them, easy cash is a problem, and then false friends, this, that, everything, and that doesn't work. Anthony going to Real Betis, Yamal, Rafinha, Vinicius, beware, the goat is coming. Let's wait and see. Exactly, Another. We should ask the management the question. Those decisions against us, not why we're in 11th position, are bad players. The reason, and the management have to rectify it. Shovik, they will not, right? You know, can we say Felipe Coutinho has also had similar issues like Neymar? I don't think so. As far as I know, I don't know. As far what I've heard at Bayern, certainly not. He won the Champions League. It's just that injuries and other things. Again, it's with him. It's with uh, other players as well. Sometimes it just doesn't for some reason or other it doesn't work out for you, and that is that's football, I guess. That's football, I guess, and that's the challenge. And for me, players have to do better. Right, 1 hour and 49 minutes plus on this Friday evening. If you haven't, do leave a like behind and share with others so that people can join into our conversations. 19 likes so far today. Thanks a lot. And do watch the older ones. We've got some very interesting conversations in the last few days as well. And you know, and yeah, let's keep on growing the community. How good is French league? Morali, the French league is one of the leagues which I think produces the most talent. If you look at, we were talking about Kusanov, right? That year now or 1.5 years at Lens made him to what he is. A lot of these French players, and therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. Very good league. XYZ says, don't worry now, we will qualify for Asian Cup and someday World Cup. Some way life finds a way, dreams are realized. Yeah, XYZ, I said that, Um, yeah, so therefore, let's wait and see. Hope you're right and hope we will all enjoy it one day. By seeing fight and association, is it parents fear them to send to the sport in India? No. East Bengal player of the season is Vishnu for me. The only problem is hope is not a one season wonder. Shomo, he's not even a one season wonder. For me, um, he's had some very, very good games. But again, like with every other Indian footballer, consistency is a topic. Apart from Kyle Walker, do you rate best centre back? I don't rate Kyle Walker as the best centre back. It would be if he plays Joshua Kimmich, right? Um, who else? Who else? Who else can I look at? Dani Carvajal, right? Yeah, those would be, you know, racism. How do you see it? It's a problem, and I think a lot of people don't realize that they're being racist themselves, right? And they say, "Oh, I've got a racism problem." Frimpong is not a right back for me. Frimpong is an attacking right winger. He's best in a 3-man back system, so he's not a right back to me in that classical sense. In the past, where Brazil had domination, do you think there's domination for Brazil? Was never dominant in that way. I don't know why people say that. The best number 9 you've seen in your life till now, mine is closer. I saw him only in older age because when he was at his prime, um, you know, but I've seen him as an older one, and that is Gerd Müller for me, no doubt about it. AFF All India Fooling Federation, yeah, Shumulo. I think the clubs can also be renamed then. Morocco reaching semi-final, to see it. Only talent, lucky, uh, you know, um, of course, as well. Luck is a factor which one should not forget. And of course, players of origin were a huge factor for Morocco to reach the semi-finals. I'm talking Ronaldo, those star world. Yeah, Morali, I think times have changed. Right? Times have changed. It's more about the team than about individuals. Hi, Jenjoli, and good to see you back. Is Ajare leaving Northeast United FC next season? Nothing sure. He has a contract till the summer. And if he continues scoring the way he has, he will be a target, I saw Closer live in 2002 in Kaiserslautern. Never thought of such a career for him. Roshan, I think nobody would have thought that. I remember when he came to Kaiserslautern and he came from the Bezirksliga to the Bundesliga, right? So he came from the 6th, 7th tier at the time. Yeah. Hakimi, can we say best right back in the world? No, Morali, no way. So what do you think? Aysel never took off the way many thought. Yes, I'll be one of them, right? But again, I said in 2014, and I stick to the same things that I say. I said in 2014 in front of Mrs. Ambani in a meeting of the clubs that the focus needs to be that the quality on the field is good, and then the marketing becomes relatively easy. That is something I said. And the problem is we were spending so much on marketing but the product was never that, right? And now the product is even worse because you don't have those superstars. At least the superstars you were able to sell, right? If I'm doing marketing in Mumbai with a Freddie Ljungberg or with a Niklas Anelka, or even when Diego Forlan came in, you've got Del Piero, you've got Trezeguet, you've got this, you've got that. We don't have that, and that's why Indian football has been more about marketing, or India is more about marketing than really doing the groundwork. And therefore, we've lost 10 years. I think the ISL could be on a different level, but for that, we should have done work at grassroots, at youth football to produce better players, to replace the older boys, and then move up. We've gone backwards. ISL in football never learned lesson over the years. Yeah, Murali, that's the point. That's exactly the point for me, that we have not learned the lessons needed to take us in the right direction. That is the challenge that I see. That we needed to do certain things which we were not willing to take because um, something or the other will happen. And this whole jugaad thing, that there are shortcuts this way or that way, hasn't worked for us. What made you anger in Chak De Football podcast, Morally? Because people, um, talking about things and giving lectures, gyan, and like, you don't do it yourself. Why are you talking about it? Inform Mumbai City is really important for the quality and competitiveness of ISL, I guess. Yes, I totally agree. How do you see current Brazil squad? Morally, need to regroup. Let's see. They've got time till next year's World Cup. Why do you think football popularity decreased so much in India? Has it decreased? That's the question. People might not follow it, but has it decreased? Because more um people play more football than ever before. So watching wise, it's less, but playing wise, it's more today than it was 10 years ago. Because you've got a lot of these small 5 and 7-a-side fields. Did you go again to Chak De Football podcast? Roshan, I was invited recently to that podcast, which now is making rounds. I wasn't available, so therefore I couldn't. But yeah, do you think closer World Cup record will be broken by anyone in recent times? Muller could have, I think, but for Germany last two World Cup. Let's just speak. Yeah, forget the last two. I think Mbappe could be the one to break it. If you look at his records, and he's got a few World Cups to play, but you never know if players are going to be fit, are going to play or not. But theoretically, now you also have bigger World Cups, so that's another thing. You've got an extra match in the 48 World Cup. Yeah. Curious question: the memories you bring back to Germany while visiting Italy? But yeah, of course. You always have memories going this way, that way. Iceland was really looking better at a point of time, and even they played the 2018 World Cup with a beautiful performance in qualifiers also, and now they are having difficulty in winning matches. Shomolo, it is always up and down. For a lot of countries, it's up and down, right? That is how football is. Who are the ISL contenders? Mohun Bagan Supergiant, Bangalore FC, FC Goa. Madhava, tomorrow is a big day for FC Goa. If they win against Chennai, I think we have an ISL title race. If they lose tomorrow, then it is very likely to be Mohun Bagan. And BFC, to me, inconsistent. I think BFC, rather than looking up, I mean, let's look at the table once. They, I think, need to look the top six, right? At the moment, Mohun Bagan, 37 points from 17 matches. Goa, 30 points from 16. So they could move to 33, 4 points, 7 matches to go. Bring it on. If they lose, they stay on 30 from 17. 7 points makes it very tough. BFC, 28 from 17. 9 points to me look too many, and BFC has not won in the last 4. 1 point out of the last 4 games. Jamshedpur FC, 28 from 16. Had a winning run, moved up the table, but again have lost too many in here and there as well. 1 match less. Don't see that. Northeast United, 25 from 17. 4 draws in a row. In danger. Odisha FC, 24 from 17. Very important win against BFC. So Odisha is in the mix. Mumbai City, 24 from 16. Play Mohammedan Sporting on Sunday. Mohammedan Sporting is not played. Yeah. So therefore, if Mumbai City win, Mumbai City potentially could be challenging even higher positions, but not the league. Blasters lost today, 21 from 18. Looks tough. But again, 2-3 wins and they're in it. Punjab, 20 from 15. So therefore, they are the one, if they can get back to winning ways, but they also have not won in a while. Chennai, 3 draws in a row, 18 from 17. Looks tough at the moment. East Bengal, 17 from 17, too far off, I would say. Hyderabad, 13 from 17. For them, it's about not being bottom of the table. Of course, big win the other night against Jamshedpur, and Mohammedan are on 11 from 16, not training properly. So let's see what happens with Mohammedan. That's the league stage. How do you rate France and Argentina final? One of the best matches. Yeah, one of the best. Surely, Murali. 2 hours plus. Those of you who've joined, who haven't, please leave a like, leave a share behind, support Arun Foot here. The more the merrier, the bigger the conversations. 19 likes today, and we are at 2,192 subscribers. So thank you very much. Closing in slowly on the 2,200 mark. Sir, in any school after cricket, football, second most played sport. Yeah, Togo. I know schools where it actually is the most played sport, even more than cricket. So therefore, that's always also a conversation, right? How do you BSc brilliant AFC run and past? Murali, that's part of it, right? They had great run at the time. Yeah. Eric Patu said ISL easy league so far he played. Yeah, that out of experience. And if Eric says that, you have to believe him, eh? Gerard Zaragoza seems to look at referees and finding solutions in bottling the shield race. Roshan, 100%. I said that 2 days ago. To me, Gerard Zaragoza should be asking questions at himself, his decisions, and they bottled it. BFC, first 6 matches, 16 points, looked really good. But since then, I don't know what happened. Curious question. Right now, India giving up citizenship record highs. The quality of lifestyle abroad better than India because people often say, yeah, it is. Towards the third, I remember my school when we used to have inter-school cricket tournaments. The school used to hire coaches from a local cricket academy and then taekwondo teachers coaching football. Togo, yeah, those are realities. Some of them are like that. Elsewhere, people will say, you know what, we had coaches for this or that. School sports is a difficult thing sometimes in an Indian context. Right. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Wow. This is today not only a 90-minute football match, but also extra time as such. If you don't have any more questions, I'll slowly come to the end of this live, you know. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. And ask Murali's question as the last one. Can we say you as a celebrity? No, Murali, please. I try to be normal. Uh, let's say I'll use Jurgen Klopp quote. I'll say I try to be the normal one. Again, I try to do whatever I can is in my capacity to help promote, support Indian football. I'm not a multi-millionaire or billionaire, and I've tried it, and therefore for me, I try and do my little things, and if I can via this channel interact with you guys, get more people maybe to understand a little bit more of football and understand where Indian football stands, and we take a stand and we try and change things. That's the most important thing. And Murali knows. Thanks a lot. But I'm not a superstar, and yeah, that's something. No, I do not meet Elon Musk, and I don't want to meet Elon Musk, to be very honest. Not since yesterday, but again, let's not get into that topic. So once again, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit also arunfoot.com. And also, if you haven't, watch the short videos, spread them around, grow the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. And I'll take the last 2 comments. Lack of good coaching biting us big time. 100% over. Biggest problem is the coaching in India that grew us grassroots youth. And thank you, Simon. You're the goat when it comes to Indian football journalism. Thank you very much. As I said, I've tried to do my things. I will try and continue do my things. But yeah, we know where Indian football stands and how people are treating it these days. So hopefully for you and myself, better times ahead. So therefore, thank you. Good night. Catch you tomorrow night after the FC Goa versus Chennai SC match.